Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is the fifth video of the playlist for basic of React.js. In this video, we are going to create the routing function or the routing system for the part 3 project because most of the website because mostly website have a more than one page. So this routing will help us to redirecting from one to other page, and also it will be a single page website. To make a routing in the React, first what you have to do is install the React Router DOM. So in here, I already run my server, and I will create a new terminal here. I will type yarn add React Router DOM and then enter. It will install the React Router DOM package. Just wait it. After the installation of the React Router DOM is done, now you can install the another one. We'll CLS it first. CLS. We'll make it this wider. Now for the next one is going to be yarn add React Router. Enter it again and it will install it. And after the React Router installation is done, we can start to making the function. I will close this terminal, and the first thing we are going to do, or the first thing what we are going to do for making the routing system, is go to the CRS and then app and then index.js. In here we can see the first component that browser or this React render is the app component. But if I set the root system in here, it will be a mess. So I will make it an app.jsx component. And for making a routing system, we need to wrap all of the routing part or routing structure inside of a tag. And that tag is going to be browser router. I will just go to the documentation here. So in here, as you can see, I have the documentation in v5.reactrouter.com/web/guides and /quick start. Here we have to import browser router as a router, switch, root, and link. But if you are using a React Router version 6, the switch has been replaced with the routes. And I will copy it for now. I will copy the import and paste it here in the app.js. And first I will change this JS to JSX so that I can use my Beautify plugin or my Beautify extension. I will Control B and let's see how it looks first. And since I am using the React Router version 6, it should be show some error. Let's see. In here, refresh. It didn't give me some error because maybe I didn't really use the switch tag. And here I'm going to make a new tag called router. Inside of it, we will have some basic root, like for example the home, maybe the cart and the cart details. And also by using this routing, we don't have to call a lot of pages. We just have to pass the parameters and it will automatically manipulate it from the JS script. So this is what's called a single page website. We don't have to call a lot of HTML pages, but we just have to manipulate the JS in this app.js page. So the first one is going to be root for the home. I will see in the documentation what is it look. So we have a switch, and inside of that switch we will have the routes and the path of the page. So inside of here I will make a new switch tag. This one is forget to T and C and H, and inside of that we'll have the root, and this root is going to be some self-closing tag. The root is equal to path is less, so this one is for the home page, and the home page path is going to be just less. Let's see again in the documentation, and inside of it we will put the component. I will just, for example, oh, I'm sorry, this is not a self-closing, but we can also use the self-closing. Here, maybe something like, but we are just going to use the not self-closing tag. Here I will have the root, and inside of it, I will just make new root, and inside of this roads, and then path equal to slash. Inside of that, we will have something like home page. We'll just have a page. We will just have a text home page. Now let's see how it looks. And I think we will get some error. As you can see here, the export switch was not found because we are using the package because we are using the React Router package version 6. So I will change this switch to roads. Now it should work fine. F5. Let me see. So I was actually reading the different documentation. This one is for version 5, and this one is for version 6. We'll close it, and here, as you can see, you get the updated import, like for example the browser router, the routes, and the root. Inside of here we get some element. So in a version 6, we are not yet using the unself-closing tag. We are using the self-closing tag, and we will put the component inside of it. I will close this first, and that component equal to, let's see the documentation. Oh, not component, but it is going to be element. Element is going to be maybe home card. I will import it in here. Import home card, and we are not yet creating it. From dot slash component slash home card.jsx. I will make a new folder in here, and I will call it component. And inside of it we'll have the home card.jsx. We'll write rough C for making the basic structure of an JSX file. And we're also going to use the bootstrap. So go to your index.html, delete all of the unnecessary command, like for example here, and here. Go to the bootstrap website. You can also use the better way to connect the bootstrap to your React.js. For example, install the package in here, but I will just connect it with a CSS tag and JS tag. Since we are using it for learning, Alt-Shift-F, and inside of this home card, we will have a React fragment. Inside of that, we'll have some dot. I will just search the card in the Bootstrap website, card, and copy the first one, or maybe Jumbotron. I will just copy the Jumbotron and change it to home. For a second, I will have to delete it, because sometimes if I edit the, for example, that one, the home card.jsx, and I change it to home jumbotron.jsx, it will not working, or it will not connected. So as possible as you can, you are making your file with your original or with your fixed name, like for example home jumbotron.jsx, because I have get some error because I was typo in my creating file. For example, I want to make it as list but with capital L, and when I change it to the capital L or rename the file, it is not working or error. So once again, as possible as you can, you are making the file name as the fixed name. So back to the code. Inside of here, I will make a new React fragment, and inside of that, I will paste the Jumbotron. Alt-Shift F, and don't forget to close the self-closing tag, like for example, this HR tag, and Alt-Shift F. Change the title to homepage, and for the description, I will just keep it. Now let's see how it looks. Go to the React app, and we get some error. Yep, because we are changing the home Jumbotron. So in here, we just have to change it to home Jumbotron. Now let's see. We're still getting some empty page. Go to the code again, and I also forget to add the tag in here, so it will have, for the element, it will have to call the component in a tag form. Now let's see, and as you can see here, we get the home page Jumbotron. So if you want to pass some component, make sure to send it as a tag form. Next, we are going to I will just copy it 2 more times, like for example, /cart or maybe /web details, and and the next one is going to be the cart details. I will make a new two component, where the first one is going to be web details.jsx, and the next one is going to be cart details.jsx. I will control B, and then I'll copy this one, paste it here, and paste it here. I will change the name. For this one is going to be web details, and next one is going to be cart details. Cart details. And let's check it out first. But first I will change it to web details for making a difference, because if the function is working or not working, it will can't see because the value is same. This one is going to be cart details. Let's see in the website and test it out. I will refresh it first, and for example, I will go to the web details and enter. We got nothing, or we got the same result. This is because the React is saying we are also calling this path. So if we add the slash and then web details, it will add the home Jumbotron and also the home Jumbotron. And I also forget to add this. We'll change it to web details and then cart details. Copy, paste it here. Copy, paste it here. Save. And as I said, if this path is slash and the web details path is also have a slash in the path, it will also call these two components. So for example here, refresh, but for that problem, it will just maybe appear in the version 6 below. But if in the version 6 and then the newer, it will not appear. And also here I forgot to change this class to class name. And if you remember, we cannot write the class in Jumbotron just class. It will have to be a class name. I will edit it also in web details, class name, and for the cart details, it will be class details 2. I mean class name. Now let's creating some link for our route. So if in before like this we are accessing our page using an URL, next we are going to create some link here to redirect to each of the page we have. Below of this router we will have a dot container, and inside of that we'll have a row, and that row is going to have a call md4, and I will have a tree of it. So if in HTML or if in PHP we use some anchor tag to redirect to the another page, in the app.jsx, since we are using the React router, we are using the link tag. This is similar with the anchor tag. I will just copy it first and explain it as it goes. I will make a new link tag. This one is not auto completing link. Now let's make it. And also we can just use some tags. For example, the first one is home page, and then web details, and also cart details. We can use like this, something like text, and don't forget to add the two params or two attribute, because without it will not be some link tag. So what's the point of a link tag if it is doesn't have a an ref tag or an two attribute? So in here, link to for the web details is going to be web details, and for the cart details is going to be cart details. I will use a two version. The first one is going to have a slash, and the second one is not going to have a slash. Refresh it. We got some error here. Let me see in the inspect. Console.log. Href may be used only in the context of a router component. Let's see in the code. And also don't forget to put all of your router part inside of this router tag. So it makes some error because I forgot to put it inside of this router tag. And make sure you put everything, make sure you put every router part inside of this router tag. Let's check it out again. And here, as you can see, we got the home page, web details, and cart details link. If we click one of these, like for example the web details, it is go to the web details, and for the cart details it's also like that, cart details. If I go to the home page again, it will redirect to the home page. And also you can also use the button, either using a text in here. We can use the styled button from the bootstrap. So in here I will make a new button, btn primary, and then tab. And if we are using the autocomplete mf inside of the JSX, it will automatically create a class name attribute and not class. And for this one, it's going to be home page, and for the web details, it's going to be web details. And also for the cart details, it's also going to be cart details. Now let's see how it looks. As you can see here, we got the button, but it is in the link tag. If we click one of this, it will also work same like the text, but it is more styled. I will change the color so that it will not same with the Jumbotron button. It's going to be maybe success. Let's see. If we click, it will work perfectly. And if we look up in the documentation, And if you scroll to the top here, you can also add, wait a second, we can also make a routing, a routes, I mean a route that can send some parameters. Like for example, in here we have a path, invoice slash invoice ID, and in an invoice function, it is can that invoice ID can be get from the params and the invoice ID. Let's try it in here. I will make a new route in here. It's going to be cards detail, but not cards detail. It will be something like blocks. Block details slash ID. In here, I will make a block details. I will import it first, and I will make the component inside of the component, same like the others. In here, I will make a block details.jsx. I will put rough C2, and maybe I will just copy the UI or the UI from the others. And here I can just blocks block number, and then in here we are going to put the ID of the block. But first we have to make a new variable, like in the documentation here we get some error. Block details was not found. Block detail, yep, that is because I forgot the import, I mean the export. Now let's see, it is no error. And here we have the let params equal to use params. We will put it in here, and don't forget to import the use params. Alt Shift F to beautify it. And here we are going to show it. So it will something like this. Params dot block ID. But let's see how we wrote it in here. It is ID, but I will make it block ID to make it more specific. And here block ID 2. Let's see. For this one I will just access it with the URL form in here, because it is dynamic, and for the button we just use it for the static. So block details slash, for example, 1. What is it going to be? And it is some error here. Let me see. So here we get some error called use params is not a function. Let me go to the VS Code again. So I get the error here. We are not supposed to import it in from React. We're supposed to import it from React router DOM. So I will import use params from React router DOM. Now it should be working fine. And also I changed this let to something like this. It is the different form, but it will give a same result. Go to the React, and as you can see here, we have the block number 1. What if we change it to 7? And we got the block number 7. You can use like this for the variable, or you can use it like something like this. Params, and then in here we're going to have params dot block ID. It is going to give a same result. If I refresh it, and as you can see here, we got the same result, but in a different way. If I click to the home page again, it will redirect to the home page, web details, and card details. So I think that's it for this video. I hope you enjoy it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And thanks a lot for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.